This episode of Adventure Time genuinely changed the way I think, and not in a way I expected. This is about how Jake the Brick, an episode about being a brick of all things, ended up helping me let go of something I didn't even realise I was holding on to.
Hey man.
When I first sat down to make this video, it was just because I loved the episode. It felt cozy, kind of about nothing, but also kind of about everything. But somewhere in the middle of making it, something shifted. My whole idea of what this episode meant and why I connected to it flipped on its head. So this isn't just a review, it's a reflection.
Okay, let's do this.
Before anything else, I should probably break down what actually happens in the episode, real quick so we can get to why it's good. So, here's what happens. Real fast. Finn's following a map through the woods. No explanation, no dialogue, just Finn things. He gets to a crumbling, abandoned shack and finds Jake, who happens to be a brick in said shack, because, well, obviously Jake wants to be a
brick in a brick shack when the brick shack falls down.
Finn just lets Jake do his thing, even though he doesn't understand why he's doing it.
You're right. I don't understand.
We'll come back to this later, because it shows why Finn is such a good friend. Finn leaves Jake a walkie-talkie and heads out. Night hits, and Jake gets his David Attenborough on.
A bunny!
He starts narrating Mr. Bunny's shenanigans. Meanwhile, Finn and BMO are just listening in, loving it. Jake gets a bit grumpy when he realises Finn is listening to him.
Hi, Jake!
Hi, BMO!
But alas, Jake goes back to commentating. In podcast style, Jake narrates the trials and tribulations of Mr. Bunny's night, navigating a storm and a deer. Finn boosts frequency and we get to see the whole of OO listening in. Jake has no idea he has an audience of adoring fans on tender hooks, worried about Mr. Bunny. But the storm passes, and just when it seems like Mr. Bunny's made it through, boom! A deer charges in and obliterates the shelter. The shelter, gone! But Mr. Bunny doesn't freak out. He just moves on, finds a new home in the old abandoned tree.
Simples.
Jake watches all of this, and something clicks.
Bunny has answers!
He's been holding on so tightly to this idea of being a brick, but maybe he doesn't need to do that anymore. So he jumps out of the wall, and the shack collapses behind him.
Aww.
And Finn, like he knew this moment was coming the whole time.
Hey man. You ready to come home?
That sounds good.
Ending with Finn saying,
Awesome. See you soon.
Yes!
right, now that that's done, I think it's time for some reflection time. Linking back to the start of the video, I mentioned about how sometimes you have to just let go. And honestly, that's what this whole thing's about. I actually started making this exact video a few weeks ago. Same-ish title, same-ish concept, but it just didn't feel right. It lacked meaning. Even though I was excited to make it, and I knew I loved the episode, I just couldn't figure out what I was really trying to say, or even why I wanted to say it. Like, I liked the episode, shouldn't that be enough? Despite this, I was really proud of what I'd made. I'd spent hours working on the first part, editing, scripting, trying to make it perfect. I genuinely liked what I'd made. I was attached to it, but it still lacked meaning. Around this time I was talking to one of my friends. I was stuck mentally, so I ranted to her about the video, about how I was so lost in it, so passionate but confused.
But they say that you have to kill your darlings sometimes.
What even? What does that even mean?
Yeah, but well, it means that just because there's an idea that you care about a lot and you kind of attach your ego to it a little bit, it kind of means that you can lose your judgment of like the bigger picture. So sometimes it's best to just kill your darlings. You've got to be able to kill off your darlings, because if you can't, then you're like at mercy to an idea that's not.
So, by killing my maiden, I
Killing
let
your
things
killing
go.
your what?
My maiden?
Yes, I said kill your darlings. It's about killing your darlings. Why did you say maiden?
Why? Yeah, but why would killing it do any good? Why kill? Just like let
I mean,
go.
it's obviously a metaphor. It's a metaphor. But like the darling in this situation is the video that you've already made, because you can tell you like it.
I do like it
a lot, but if you can't face parting with it, then it has more power over you than you have over it. And you've got to be able to have your own creative judgment.
And I remember thinking, what? No, I've put too much effort into this. I really like how that one specifically tiny bit turned out, and how that one lo-fi track lined up with a clip of Jake farting. But despite this, the moment stuck with me. Even though I didn't want to admit it, part of me knew she was right. Maybe my friend was Finn, or maybe she was the bunny. She'd survived the brutal storm of creative creation before. She'd adapted, and she might have been quietly showing me how to do the same. Either way, that conversation was my walkie-talkie. And after that, I started to watch the episode slightly differently. I noticed how the bunny showed Jake that it was okay to be at peace when things they'd built up like his dam get destroyed, and there's nothing you can do about it. I noticed how good of a friend Finn is. He's not trying to fix Jake. He provided him with a support system, with a walkie-talkie, and could just understand that Jake might find out what he needed to find out by carrying on with his brick experiment. I noticed that we were pretty much part of in this episode. We heard exactly the same things as they did, and I know I was hooked as they were. It served us as a great way to remind us of where all the characters are at, and show us some old fun cameos that might have slipped our minds. All of these moments were building towards something I hadn't seen the first time around. And that's when I started thinking about Jake. He's literally a brick in a brick shack waiting for it to collapse. And yet he treats it like this sacred thing. That it is the silliest thing out of context. Well, even with the context it's ridiculous. But maybe that's the point. To Jake, it's his whole world. And I suddenly realized that was me. I'd built up this little mental shack around this video. I thought I needed it, but really I was just being as silly. I needed to jump out of that wall. Relinquishing control and starting from scratch might have collapsed my brick shack, but I'm better off for it. And to be honest, it was a bit of a moment, but it allowed me to realize how many shacks I'd built up in my brain. All of them just needing a slight perspective shift to break free from them. Small issues or big issues, realizing that they're probably just as silly as Jake being a
Brick in a brick shack when the brick shack falls down.
was super freeing to me. It allowed me to create something I actually believe in and something I'm actually proud of. So maybe you've been Jake too, holding on to an idea or a goal, or maybe just a version of yourself that deep down you know isn't really working. We build these little brick shacks in our minds, but I think that sometimes the best thing you can do is jump out and let the whole thing fall. See what happens, and trust that what you actually need will still be there. So yeah, Jake the Brick. It's kind of about nothing, but for me, it became about everything. Friendship, letting go, perspective, and the extremely odd, hard, weird, beautiful process of inevitably figuring things out, even when you don't realize that's what you're doing. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble, and if you're stuck in your own little shack, here's your walkie-talkie.